Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel, and we're going to talk about 8 signs of a toxic relationship today. If you're new here, there's over 350 audios available for you to check out on a variety of topics. Please feel free to do so. And if you'd like a topic covered, please also feel free to leave a message in the comments to that effect, and we'll see what we can do about getting that covered for you. Please check out the website in this channel's About Me page, and follow me on Twitter at PO Perception. I don't do as much with Twitter nowadays because I'm really busy and trying to catch up on some things and have some health challenges, but we are still there, and if you want to direct message with me there, I always do have somebody, including myself, but not limited to me, checking messages on a semi-regular basis. So in any event, until we kind of go forward, signs of a toxic relationship. The first is not feeling supported. So, toxic relationships are very one sided. They often are individuals who are extremely insecure, and so the only time that a person who is toxic is going to provide support is if they are, in fact, gaining something from it. So, it's not mutually beneficial. It's usually leads to a level of burnout on an emotional level because the non-toxic person is always doing for and submitting to the will and desire of the toxic person. The non-toxic person often feels almost like a slave or submissive to the other person, and that non-toxic individual often has to find support emotionally from outside the relationship. Sometimes this can lead to affairs, other times this can lead to alienation from friends and family. And the focus is that controlling toxic person wants to control the situation. They want to control the narrative, they want to control how they're seen, they want to control how you see them, they want to control what you do, where you go, how you behave, how you dress, and all sorts of other factors. Now, the more controlling a person is, the more the tendency is going to be that they are going to be super sensitive about small things. Usually a person who has toxic tendencies but maybe isn't, fully into the neuroses of controlling another person, they might have a few issues. But a really toxic controlling person is going to try to control as much as they can, as often as they can. Something as simple as where you go, who you speak to, how you speak to them. They may even ask to see your phone or see your messages, which is to me, and this is just having worked with thousands of couples. When I hear I needed to see his or her phone, the first thing I think is this could go really badly. While there needs to be transparency in relationships, if you need to see your partner's or your friend's phone in order to feel like, as I knock my microphone over here, as it falls off the surface I have it on. If you need to have that control, then chances are you don't trust them. And a relationship without trust will eventually, even if it takes months or years, fail anyway. The next is jealousy. So, obviously, in the early stages of a relationship, when we don't know where we stand with a person, jealousy is a common, although not necessarily necessary, feeling in the nature of developing the relationship. And I say not necessary only because if you're communicating properly with a person and have good boundaries with them, the likelihood that you would feel a need to be jealous because you're communicating about how you're feeling before jealousy festers becomes less likely. However, unfortunately, people struggle with communication a lot, and feelings of jealousy do come forward. Now, when jealousy turns to obsession or control, that becomes an even bigger problem. It's a sign of an insecurity, fear of loss, and the lack of confrontation of said internal fear of loss within a person who acts possessive or controlling and manipulative and jealous. Those are root core challenges that can be extremely damaging. Now, jealousy can be worked around, but the jealous person has to get really very intimate and emotional about or emotionally connected at least, about their relationship and the reason they're having it, and also their fears, which usually stem from either difficult childhood experiences or difficult previous relationships. The next is obviously a manipulative person is going to be more likely to be caught in lies, big, medium, or small. And this is because the control of the narrative is the most important thing to this individual. It isn't the bond, it isn't the relationship, and it isn't authenticity or honesty. Instead, it's how they're seen, how they react with the world around them, and ultimately um, that be all end all complete package. The inability to communicate about challenges and the inability to communicate about how a person is feeling or what their expectations are, or ever changing expectations without communication. All of these lacks of communication are also signs of toxic relationships. The toxic person expects that you will know almost intuitively or by osmosis what their needs are, what their expectations are, and how to fulfill them in almost every um, scenario. The second is, or the next thing is lack of respect. Now, this could be public lack of respect, like humiliating you or degrading you in public or in front of other people. Also, it could be belittling your opinions, thoughts, feelings, emotions, or reactions to things. But when a person is disrespectful, it's a sign that they're toxic because the only viewpoint they really care about is their own, and then they are trying to create a scenario under which that you will react or respond in the way that they believe is best, and almost it's kind of like they're trying to create a puppet rather than a relationship with a person. The second to last thing is they hold on to the past. So this can manifest itself in many ways, but the most three common are they talk about the same tragic memories or toxic memories or trauma based memories from their childhood or earlier relationships. They do a lot of compare and contrast with previous romantic relationships, and they'll say you're just like so and so when they did this or that, and they're holding on to the pain of that previous relationship and putting you in the shoes of that person, or they are holding on to things you've done or said or twisting words around as it relates to what's happened in your relationship. All of these are toxic behaviors that involve holding on to the past. The last one is if you're never really happy, or if they're never really happy. So obviously there's going to be ebbs and flows throughout a relationship, and some ebbs and flows are worse than others, and the longer you're together, the more variance you're going to see in the emotions you feel around your partner, both positively and negatively. But if you can honestly say, I don't remember the last time I was really, truly secure and happy in this relationship, it's honestly a sign that you need to let it go. It's honestly a sign that you need to allow the relationship to draw to a close, because at the end of the day, without letting that relationship draw to a close, pain will be at the center, and the toxic relationship will only get more dramatically negative. So hopefully this is helpful. I encourage you to keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.